Today I'm coming to you to talk about vaccine mandates and the lack of trust in leadership. And this is really important because these days there is a lot of stuff going that is happening, a lot of information that's being shared, and a lot of times I don't really know how accurate that information is. So I am a person who always goes to medical sites to get my information, get it from the horse's mouth, let's say, and I don't read a lot of news media. So anyway, just to give you, this is kind of where I'm coming from when I want to talk about this today, this issue. And a lot of companies are having their employees mandated to get the vaccine. And I still use this term loosely because it's not really a vaccine. It's still an experimental drug. Yes, Pfizer has gotten approval, but it is not for what's currently being used. It's called, I never can pronounce this right, it's called Comirnaty, and it is in conjunction, Pfizer and BioNTech actually came up with this product, but it's not available and it hasn't even started being manufacturing yet or labeled yet. So currently, when this actually does come out for people to use, you'll be able to sue the company if something happens. Currently, right now, there is no liability. You sign a liability waiver when you actually get the shot. So one thing to think about is when you're doing these asking your employees to get this vaccine, this shot, you are actually, and I know a lot of companies are doing this, requiring your employees to get this shot, and then if they choose not to, they are threatened with unemployment, getting fired. They are making it very difficult on those employees who have pre-existing health conditions or religious exemptions that the companies are offering, because now they're making the employees get weekly testing. They are also making employees wear masks or have extreme social distance with others. So it's not a very conducive environment for getting work done. Also, when it comes to this, regardless, and this is all being done regardless whether you have natural immunity. So you've already got COVID, last year or currently. You've already got it. You've already got the antibodies for it, but that's not being taken into any consideration. And I know companies, when they first came out with this, when they coming out with this mandate, they actually have the best intentions. This is not the result where they are wanting to see their employees leave. They are just wanting the best for those who are working for them. So I get the premise behind it, but having employees view the whole situation as my way or the highway can be a little intimidating and resentful by that employee. So, hey, my name is Dr. Heather Williamson, and with the Transformation Group, welcome back to the channel. All right, so I really want to share, I've got a lot of notes today, and I really want to share some thoughts about this. So when you are asking your employees to get the shot, they are being threatened to get the shot or they get fired. There are the segregation of vaxxers versus non-vaxxers. That's happening. They're being bullied. Your management's being bullied into get employees to get it, and also ridiculed. So there are a lot of things happening to the employee who may be a little resistant for whatever personal reason that they have. The culture companies are creating, mandating the vaccine is creating a lack of trust in leadership, which again, I'm sure is not the original goal. You have the best intentions. However, the end result is that's not what is happening. So you've got people who are getting the jab because they don't want to lose their job. They need that income. They need the health insurance. So people are getting it, but now they are being resentful to you as the boss, and they are also now a disgruntled employee. And I've heard this over and over again. Also, employees, some of them are actually saying, no thanks, I'll leave, I'll go find a company that doesn't require. And now what's happening is what's being referred to as the Great Resignation, where you're seeing a flood of people leaving companies to find other companies that are more open-minded, more lenient, or will give them the things that they need in order for them to be successful. So one thing to think about, and I actually shared this in my last video, vaccine mandate, yes or no. So go check it out. Actually, I'll put the link below for you as well. But there was actually a law professor, this is recent, a law professor, Zawicki. He's actually at George Mason University in Virginia. He was being required to get the COVID vaccine even though he already had COVID and now has the antibodies. And so he has a robust level of immune protection. He's been tested multiple times, and this is the results. Professor Zawicki shared clinical trials also from Israel, England, and the Cleveland Clinic that shows natural immunity to SARS-CoV-2 provides robust and durable protection against reinfection compared to most vaccines, most effective vaccines. And this is also supported by the World Health Organization. And so he is now suing George Mason University for not allowing those who have had COVID, who have the antibodies, who are immune protected to not be able to be forced to get the shot. So, and this is actually found in the Wall Street Journal. If you would like to find it, look it up for yourself. It's natural acquired immunity, and he's suing the university for the mandatory vaccine requirement. So the vaccine mandate by employers has created a trigger event where trust in leadership has significantly decreased. And this is because it's perceived as a betrayal and not allowing employees to make their own decisions. And if you are mandating this, the Pfizer, whether it's Pfizer, Moderna, or J&J, if you're requiring this, then you are not giving your people the choice to make their own personal decisions. And there is an article that I recently read by Dr. Mercola, and I'm going to put all this information in the body of this video. But he actually has found that 60% of those older than 50 who die from COVID are actually ones who are double vaxxed. And currently the CDC only tracks, this was I think as of May, maybe May, currently the CDC only tracks breakthrough cases, and those are ones who are double vaxxed, that result in hospitalization and death. So the CDC is not even tracking those who are not vaxxed. And I'm wondering why that is. And one thing this is also causing your employees not to trust you, is that both England and Israel actually is the best source for this information because they were the first ones out there to actually enforce the vaccines. And the majority of them are now totally vaxxed. And actually they have 1 million people who are over the age of 50 who have already gotten their third booster. So what's happening is a lot of this information out of Israel and England, who are ahead of us, are sharing information of what side effects are happening. And actually it is being found that the jab or the shot is not very effective in people over the age of 50. And so Israel research suggests that vaxxed are up to 13 times more likely to get the Delta variant than those not vaccinated, but had recovered from COVID. So those that already had the antibodies in them naturally. So currently many companies uses the CDC to justify their mandates, even though there have been examples of data manipulation that includes PCR testing differences between the vaxxed and the unvaxxed. So those that are vaxxed, the PCR test actually is using a CT of 28, and those that are unvaxxed use a CT of 40, which the CT of 40 is actually producing false positives. This is just information for you as the boss to really understand, because this is what's causing your employees not to trust you or trust the company. And I know that a lot of companies, you all talk to one another. A lot of huge companies have gotten on board, such as the Federal Reserve, Capital One, and I mean, you got just universities. It go on and on and on with the companies that are on board. But I think that it's, like I said it before, the intention is amazing. It's great. I see where you're coming from, but I think you have to look at the other side. And I think that when it comes to those that are being mandated, and actually that change in the swab testing for the PCR test actually changed in May of 2021, it was reported. So what does all this mean to you as the boss? You as a leader in your organization. So employees are feeling that you are not concerned about them. So they're concerned that you are not taking into consideration the potential serious side effects that are happening. And that is things such as the myocarditis and the pericarditis, which are the two types of heart inflammation that is found to be happening. And this is also cited, FDA did put this in the new Pfizer BioNTech vaccine. When it does come out, that is actually listed as a side effect. The vaccine is unnecessary due to viable and long-standing therapeutics. Your people are also concerned about that you are not concerned about the lack of effectiveness of the vaccines, because people who are gotten the vaccine are still getting the Delta variant COVID. Also, personal medical decisions are not being considered, and there's no recourse for liability to you, the company, and to the pharmaceutical companies at this time. And even right now, the drug that Pfizer is putting out is still the one under the emergency use that has no liability option to it. The new drug won't come out until who knows when, because it's not available at this time. So these are just some things that you as the boss, I think it's really important for you to understand. These are some concerns of your people. And this also, the bottom line is that your people are jumping ship, or it's the Great Resignation, because one, they are not being offered the opportunity to work remotely. Also, they are, and because you're enforcing the vaccine mandate, also there is no flexibility for some of the employers. And so your people are jumping ship. So I think really for you as the boss to really consider here is to listen to employees and try and meet them halfway. If not, you are going to see your people walk out that door and go to either your competitor or actually smaller companies that are not enforcing these mandates with their employees, or those who are having the opportunity to work remotely and don't have to worry about it because they're never really in contact with anybody else. So these are things that hopefully you will find valuable that I shared with you, and that you are going to think about this when you are either considering mandates, or think about this if you've already done it. Hey, maybe I just went a little too far. And this information, there is some great information on vaers.com, which is spelled VAERS.com. This is where medical staff are reporting side effects, and that's more than just the two types of heart inflammation. And also there is Mercola.com, which is MERCOLA.com, and that is a great medical site as well. So hopefully you find this information useful. I've got more videos like this and others that if you do not want to miss out on leadership tips and strategies that will help you become a more effective leader, then please sign up for these videos. Click the button below to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video. Please share comments if you feel necessary, and I don't want to hear any negative comments. This is not the purpose of that. I'm just sharing medical information that is out there, that is documented, and some ideas on what may be causing your people not to trust you as their boss when these mandates are coming down. So hopefully you found this information useful, and don't forget to go out and be that boss that your employees want to work for. Until next time.